Welcome to another episode of Dave's Imaginations. Today we're going to recap our game from Thursday, August 17th, as Dave's Imaginations presents Descent into Avernus, Slipping Hell's Grasp. Our adventurers find themselves in the fallen city of Elturel, and we're going to go through all of their adventures right after this. Stay with me. So you might notice that I'm not in my normal spot. We've had some drama in our basement, a pipe burst, and now I've had to move upstairs to our upstairs home office / guest room. So if you're ever in Central Illinois and you need a place to stay, we have a bed. This might be it. We have 2 beds. We have 3 beds, including ours. Anyway, so I digress. Back to our game. Our adventurers found their way to Elturel. Elturel, in the fallen city of Elturel, in one of many different waves. Some of them jumped in a portal after Tiamat was prevented from coming into the mortal plane. One of them had died previously and found his body trapped in Avernus, as that is where Elturel has fallen to. And finally, we had 2 other people. We had Panlamir, who was in the city when it fell, and we had Mortello, who found the site and was investigating, and with his companion Lulu, the Hollyphant, they, through their investigation, they learned how the city had fallen and had a mage do a spell to send them there. Anyway, they all found themselves in this fallen city of Elturel, which, when they get there, is under siege by demons. Dretch specifically. Many dozens and dozens of Dretch have invaded the town. Town's on fire, and they are fighting their way toward the town hall. As had most of the townspeople had already gone. They fought their way to the town hall, and as they're fighting there, they have the demons, mostly Dretch, but there were other kinds there too, some bigger, some flying. They were being flown in by other types of, I think it was a Varrock, a V-R-O-C-K. Varrock were flying these Dretch and dropping them off and getting more as our adventurers go and fight their way to the town hall. When they get to the town hall, they find that there's a row of guardsmen in front of the building, and around that was a large group of militia. The militia led by this guy, older Ravengard. And as our adventurers were coming on fought their way to the city hall, they see a very large set of demons have come, and Ravengard is battling it, and he falls in battle. His militia drag his body back to the town hall, and where our adventurers were, and they were able to heal him. But so they bring him back from the dead. But while he was dead, older Ravengard had a vision. In his spirit journey, Ravengard saw a bloodied woman in armor, a soldier wearing the colors and crests of Elturel, grasping a longsword fit for an angel. Fresh blood streamed from a nasty cut on this woman's cheek. Lying next to the woman was a small golden elephant with rapidly fluttering wings. As enormous as an enormous loping demon threatened to devour the woman, she plunged her sword into the ground while the winged elephant made a trumpet sound with its trunk. The demon was hurled back as an alabaster palace rose up around the sword. This winged elephant fled and took to the red sky of Avernus, where the elephant watched as the bloody scab grew up from the ground to engulf the palace and the enormous demon. The winged elephant, Lulu, fled in delirium before coming upon 2 odd bird-like humanoids dressed in patchwork armor standing next to a strange infernal vehicle. The bird creatures were equipped with odd weapons and tools. So, as they bring him back to life, this Ravengard character relays the story and reaches up and says, "You've got to find this sword. The sword is the key. You break the chains and deal with this blotted out sun and taking care of those should release Elturel back to the mortal plane. Please find the sword. And Lulu says, I remember, we must do this. Do birds really talk? And so with this, our characters look around Elturel and look over, and they look down into the river, and there's a river, this blood river underneath them. And in this river, there's some vessel, some boat unloading demons, only to be met by devils. The devils who had come to Elturel, who had devils under the care of Zariel, the Archduke, the Archdevil of Avernus, who are in this eternal blood war, eternal war between demons and devils. It's taking place right between the city on the ground, but not in the city as well, as the devils have come and they saved the day, proclaiming that Elturel is theirs and not for demonkind. And these devils are pushing back the demons. But this battle is taking place underneath the city along the coast of this blood river, the river Styx. Our adventurers find a way off the city, and they land, and they hear the rumblings of a large machines kicking up dirt in the distance. They came off the town of Elturel looking for this 100-foot tall metallic structures all further down the river. They were going to go investigate that for some clue as to where these bird creatures might be. They get down to the ground and they find that these road warriors, these Mad Maxian type road warriors, are surrounding, kicking up, riding their motorcycles, their buggies around another person. There's 3 of them, a male, a female, and some devilish creature. And as they come, they hear screams of a woman, and they start to pursue, and they wonder if this might be just the thing they need to help their companion, Ruckus. Ruckus, who we know is stricken with shark lycanthropy, were-sharkism, as the dark god back in the day when he was in Barovia had made a deal with the dark god Vampire that he would take on this mighty ability to transform into a were-shark. And Vampire's only catch was that he had to kill a certain number, a number of people equal to the number of people that know his secret. We don't know what that number is. Ruckus, his character Glenn, has not shared with us how many people that is. But we do know, or they can tell, perhaps it's Gloin who has a similar requirement. The gold dragon that's with him can tell that these, maybe through this taste in his mouth, he knows that these drivers of these bikes are indeed humanoids. That would probably suffice for our were-shark's requirement. So they go and they find this, and they have this this were-shark, Ruckus, has been subdued because he has gone insane. He's become murderous, as he did not meet the requirement, and now he will kill the first humanoid he sees. So they have him subdued. Ruckus has a lamp. Inside the lamp is a marvelous mansion. Nice big lamp. The lamp's normal size. Inside is a nice big mansion, magical mansion, if you would. And these people are Ruckus owns this. This is his possession, but he is allowed, given everyone the ability to go in and out of this lamp as their hidey hole, as their place to hide and stay and rest. In this, though, Christiana has locked the Ruckus, this unconscious, with her special manacles that will transform him back into his regular self. They have put his manacles on and locked him with an arcane lock in a room. But with the wereboars here, they want to bring him out and let him loose on these riders of these motorcycles and buggies. And they learn, as I gave away, they learn that these riders are wereboars, and they are indeed humanoids. And they begin the attack. But they don't want to kill them. They want to weaken those riders so that Ruckus, were shark, can meet his requirement, kill the humanoids he needs to kill to satisfy his requirements. The battle ensues. These bikes running back and forth and around, and the battle ensues, and they start taking them down. But poor Ruckus, he can't land it to save his life. Literally, to save his life, or to save other lives. Anyway, he's having a rough time of it. But the battle ensues, and they get about halfway down when a retreat is called. The werewolves want to retreat, but many of them have been confuddled with a mind spell, and some have crashed, and some have been mesmerized, if you would, and they stay, and the rest leave, and there's 3 people that were in conversation with the leader, the Raga Draga, the leader of the werewolves, was speaking to these 3 in the middle, and through the battle, Panlemir fights his way to those people, and sees Raga Draga retreat. And he starts, Panlemir starts talking to these 3, and learns that the leader is called Smiley, and he's very charismatic. Oh, thank you for helping me. It's very charismatic, and with him though, he has a succubus, Sabina. Oh, Sabina, who is a succubus, of course, and has had her wings clipped, so she's a wingless succubus, and with him also is another demon or devil. I don't know. I don't have him from it. But another creature of Avernus. And they thank these guys for helping them and chasing them away. But they see that their friend, the wereshark, is we need to get out here. It's not safe. So they pull away, and Panlemir goes with them, and they have this conversation of, so why are you here? Why were they after him? And what do you need? And hey, do you know of these bird-like creatures? And they do. They do know of bird-like creatures. I wonder if they mean these people, right? And at the Knucklebone Fort. And so yeah, we know those people, and maybe this could be where and we'll lead you there. But first, we need a favor. Yeah, I know you just chased these people away, and that was a great favor. But there is a requirement that we still need. We need to get the larva from a hell wasp nest. And he points over there on the distance at the top of a hill. There's this giant mass floating above the mountain, above this plateau of the mountain, and says, we need to get in that and get some larvae. And if you can do that for us, then we will take you to these bird-like people at Knucklebone Fort. And so that is how we ended last week. I would say that at the requirement of Ruckus was not fulfilled, and our people were up on a ridge watching below, and when they saw that he wasn't transforming back to his regular self, they started pummeling him with cantrips, and so that he fell again unconscious and was locked back up in his lamp. And so that is where Ruckus has ended, and the next week we will be looking at invading this hell wasp nest, how they will deal with that, and then from there, hopefully, they will be able to be led to these talking bird people, and we can see where the adventure goes from there. So that is it. That is our current setup for the campaign of Descent into Avernus, Slipping Hell's Grass. Hope you're enjoying it, and we will meet again tomorrow. So it's Wednesday, the 23rd. We're going to meet tomorrow, Thursday, the 24th, at our normal time. The game has moved. You might notice the game is no longer in my basement. We no longer have the overhead cam. That's because we're playing at our kitchen table, because there's been drama in my basement. All right, so that is where we're at. I hope you're still with me. If you're still with me, hit that like, subscribe. I'd appreciate it. Otherwise, thanks for watching, and maybe you can tune in tomorrow. We'll see you then. Until then, take care.